Hi, welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be making an improvised gas mask. So unfortunately, due to current events with rioting and looting and all kinds of silly things going on, I'm going to take a break from some of the wilderness stuff and go over a little more urban survival. Today we're going to be using the respirator, some duct tape, and a found 2-liter bottle, and we're going to be making an improvised mask. So I was shown this skill the first time at a Go Ruck event. And I was pepper sprayed with this mask on, and it does work, so I can attest to that. Now, tear gas or anything crazy, you're on your own with this, but normal pepper spray, mace, anything like that, this is going to deflect it from your eyes, and it's going to filter it, so you're not going to be breathing in any of that pepper. So these found 2-liter bottles are a wonderful thing. They're everywhere. You can find these, and the only tool I'm going to be using is going to be a Swiss Army knife. You can do this with a lot of different items. The Swiss Army knife is a pretty basic, everyday carry kind of pocket knife. And it's going to have all the tools we need for this. So using knife or scissors on this particular bottle, I'm just going to cut the crown off of it. I have had better luck using the more traditional bottle shapes than like the Coca-Cola with more of the contoured bottle shape. That doesn't work as well. So if you're looking for garbage, look for the best bottle you can get. So now that we've got this cut off, you're gonna have glue on one side and non-glue from the label on the other. Truly doesn't matter, but I don't want to be running around an urban landscape in the middle of a riot while getting pepper sprayed looking through some adhesive. So we're gonna make this the back. Again, you can use your knife. This particular Swiss Army knife has a pair of scissors on it. So just to be different, I'm going to use the scissors. And I'm going to go ahead and just offset this a little bit and go ahead and make a cut. Maybe 6 inches or so. Now at this point, I'm about 6 inches down and I'm starting to make a U shape. So I come up, I'm going to go around, and this is where your face is actually going to fit, but you want a good tight seal. So if this is a sloppy fit, you're going to get sloppy results and you're going to get a snout full of pepper spray. So it's best to start with a basic cut and then just widen it depending on your face. Okay, so you can see what I got going on here, and this is definitely too small, and that's exactly what I want. So it's going to go over your face like this. I'm going to take maybe an inch off each side. All right, so now we can see here it's opened up a little bit more. You can see kind of what I got. And this is about right. Now I'm going to take the sharp edges here. I've made several of these, and I've actually taught it in a class before, but I have never done a video on it. But any little sharp edges, as you're donning and doffing your safety gear, so you're putting this thing on and off, you do not want any little sharp plastic against your face. It will scratch it up. So now this is a used mask. This is the M95 mask that everybody's so happy about right this second, but any respirator would work. The better ones like this have 2 pieces of elastic. The just generic ones, the ones that aren't so great, have just a single one. So you're gonna go ahead and take the elastic out of the staples. I just pulled these right out of here, and we're gonna be using just the mask for this second. You will be using these pieces of elastic later. So now, with the respirator separated from the elastic, I'm just gonna jam it down in here. Now I've only made these with a filter. If I did not have one of these things, I would be the first person to take a bandana or a shamag or an old t-shirt or something and just jam it down in here. It's probably not going to work as good, but it's probably going to work a whole lot better than your eyelids for keeping pepper spray out. Now, I never carry the big 2-inch duct tape. This is something I keep in a vehicle kit always, but most of the time I carry a 1-inch roll. So just to keep it real here, I'm going to split this down to 1-inch pieces. And at this point, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape around the respirator, kind of like this, and that's going to seal it up, and it's going to keep everything in place. I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way around. So you're going to be breathing through the bottom of this 2-liter bottle through the respirator. So your air intake is coming completely through here, and then you're going to have this plastic shield to protect direct contact spray from pepper spray or mace or anything like that. Now with this bottle, if you were, say, running from a crowd of people getting pepper sprayed, I would personally have this thing off where I can get as much air as possible. This is a nice clean cut along this edge, so it's really not that hard on your face. However, that's probably not always going to be the case. And we're going to just use a little bit of this 1-inch duct tape just to soften the edges a little bit. So you're going for something about like this. So I found that if I leave a loose gasket seal on top, that holds onto your head a little bit better. And then you can pull your hat down and help hold it in place. So because I have a Swiss Army knife, I'm just going to use my awl on this. So right around the location of your eyeballs, so you can just put it on and mark it. Right around here, I'm just going to go ahead and just make a couple holes, one on each side. And then we're going to utilize the elastic that originally came with the mask. So now with those holes all, I was just able to tie this elastic in place, and now the whole mask is just going to slip on and off fairly quickly. So once I have something like this made up, I would keep it with me throughout the event until I was out of danger. This is something that would fit in a coat pocket. I don't know if I necessarily keep it up around my head all the time because you're going to lose it. I would carabiner this maybe even to my backpack or something. But this is critical gear, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this does work. So these aren't my favorite skills to teach. I personally prefer to be out in the woods, but it's a whole lot more likely in today's circumstances that you're going to have to fight your way through a crowd in an urban survival situation than you are to be lost out in the middle of the woods. That's a shame. A lot of the skills that you learn to work with in the wilderness apply just as well in an urban environment. There's just a few tricks like this that you can see trash resources, understand the purpose of them, understand how to make them, and carry the tools that you need to make one of these on the fly. So the best thing about one of these is if you never have to make one. Stay away from riots, stay away from looting and violent protesting. This does work, but you don't want to count on it. I was pepper sprayed in the face. It ran onto my shirt. The shirt actually did soak in the pepper spray, and man, my chest was just beet red. So you're not really getting away with nothing, but I was not incapacitated at all. I could still breathe, I could still see, I could still get the hell out of the way, and that's all you need to be worried about in an urban survival situation. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click like, click subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. Head over to burningriverbushcraft.com and check out my blog, subscribe to it. Till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.